Hello, and welcome to Educationally Speaking. My name is Sarah Davis, and I'm a communications specialist with Oakland Schools and the host of this podcast. The goal of Educationally Speaking is to focus on important topics related to education here in Oakland County, Michigan. Thank you so much for listening in. Today we're going to discuss how the Oakland Schools Service Desk was given the opportunity to provide tech support for MIServiceDesk, which is a statewide pre-K through 12 initiative. It is something we are immensely proud of here at Oakland Schools, and we're excited to be at the forefront of technology plans going on at the state level. Here with us today to talk about this topic, we have Oakland Schools Assistant Superintendent and Chief Information Officer Tammy Evans, and Oakland Schools Service Desk Supervisor Robin Evenson. Tammy and Robin, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
This is a fun topic for us to talk about, but there's also many different levels to it. So we're going to kind of go through and break apart how this came about, that Oakland Schools was selected to head up such a big project. Sound good?
Yes, it does.
Perfect.
Okay, so Tammy, let's start this off by discussing how Oakland Schools got involved in MIServiceDesk to begin with.
Sure, Sarah. We have been a part of a statewide project for many years with a collaboration group that has been focused on providing solutions for pre-K-12, either whether they were state mandated or they may have been something that an association like General Education Leadership Network or the Michigan Education Technology Leaders would have identified as something that everyone has to do. This group has focused on many initiatives, and we'll get into that in a little bit more. We have a group called MISH, which is the Michigan Collaboration Hub. And this Collaboration Hub focuses on providing these solutions. When we started building these things and providing these things, we found very quickly that we needed frontline support, what we call Tier 1 support in IT. So Tier 1 support for these types of solutions is really a website and a phone number and a resource that someone can contact from a classroom or from a central office so they can get support. So really what prompted the state to form the Michigan Service Desk was being able to address the support needs for these statewide initiatives. When we started creating these solutions, we quickly found that the few resources that we had allocated to the work wasn't enough to cover all of the support needs across the state. So at that time, Oakland Schools and many other ISDs were asked to be partners and collaborate on providing resources to support these initiatives. And there's many initiatives associated with the Collaboration Hub.
So what was it about Oakland Schools Service Desk that made it the best candidate to take on this statewide initiative?
We're really fortunate in Southeast Michigan to have so many resources. And Oakland Schools especially has a very established service desk that we've been operating for 20 years. So supporting regional initiatives is what we do really well. And Robin and her team have done an outstanding job. They're all very passionate and very committed to learning all of the new things that technology brings us. So I knew pretty quickly that it would be easy for Oakland to absorb this entry-level service desk for the state initiatives, and contacted Robin and said, what do you think about this, and how we would approach it. So we kind of talked about it for quite a while. We talked with our own internal team. Then I offered it to the Collaboration Hub as an opportunity to start out providing support for the state. We want to start out with some of the entry-level applications that are being supported and then grow it. Oakland Schools is providing this support in a way that allows the rest of the ISDs to join us. So we're not the only provider. Today we are because we're starting it. But ultimately we believe that there will be other ISDs that help us support statewide initiatives because they will be tens of thousands of people using the service.
Okay, so Oakland Schools takes this on in November 2019. Can you talk about how this affected your day-to-day?
Honestly, Sarah, the day-to-day hasn't really changed with our team. We work so closely together, and they absorb all tasks that are brought to them quickly and, as Tammy said, with passion. Some tickets spark conversation that come into the MIServiceDesk. We have 2 leads right now, which is Sydney Pershon and Brandon Stevens. They led this project with the team and getting them trained and making sure that they understand what accesses they have and what the processes are to generate the tickets or troubleshoot them. So honestly, from what we do day to day with our field service districts and all of the 28 districts in Oakland County, it's just the same process. We own that ticket from start to finish.
Even still, this sounds like a big project. So what are you focusing on first?
When we bring on a new district or any project like this, any kind of task, our first focus is training. We want to make sure that we have all the data we need to provide the support that our customers are used to getting from the service desk. Since this is a new initiative for us, we spent a lot of time sitting with the MISH group who've provided the training to us and our team. It took about a week to get us all on board. Once the training was completed, we had the team play inside the admin councils just so they could get familiar with seeing what the customers and the teachers that call into us are going to see.
The first 2 products that we're supporting, there was a 3rd grade reading law put into place about 18 months ago or so. And as a MISH collaboration response to that, we created a statewide solution called MyRead. It also ties in with another application called MyStrategyBank. So MyRead allows teachers to do instantaneous assessments of literacy components for each student that they work with. MyStrategyBank complements that solution in that it provides strategies to address the different learning styles or the different literacy components that they're trying to help the student with. So Robin's team went through training on not only the applications themselves, but really what the content meant. And so they would understand the types of questions that would come in from teacher classrooms, which is where they'll get most of their calls.
And what are the other layers that will be supported other than those 2 applications?
The Collaboration Hub has spent a great deal of time. We've been working on this for about 6 years. We started with infrastructure, specifically the State Education Network, which connects all of the ISDs and all the districts to one continuous network. And we created that so that we could address the digital assessment requirements that the state put into place several years ago. So they're doing online assessments. They're required to do in every district. And so that State Education Network gives us a way to capture the results of those assessments. The other layers that we've really been focusing on are the data hubs. So every single district is required to capture all kinds of data about students, about finances, about all layers of classroom management and learning management. So by creating this data hub solution, we were able to connect a way for data to be entered once so that data integrity was the focus, and districts saved a huge amount of money so that they didn't have to enter data multiple times. When a student comes in to a district, they're already registered at the state. They already have a unique identifying number, and there is a way for all of that data to be populated through their student information system and then across all other applications that the districts use, whether it's food service or transportation or many other learning management, classroom management types of applications. We used to do all of this manually. We would enter that data every single time to every single application. So you can imagine Tom and Thomas and Tommy were all put in for the same student.
Okay, so what does all of this mean for a teacher living, say, way out in Manistee? Robin, can you take us through the flow of how it works for someone who is seeking assistance from the Oakland Schools Service Desk?
Absolutely. We have 3 different avenues that the customers can contact us. For the MIServiceDesk.org is our ticketing system through JIRA. They can log into that system and enter their tickets online themselves. They can contact us through phone, obviously, at 248-209-2060 and get a live resource. And then we also have live chat, which is our personal favorite, because it's real-time live chat. You're literally talking with a resource at that time. You can provide them whatever, the same questions that you might have, the same concerns you have with your ticket, and we can troubleshoot right there at the same time.
This seems like a big initiative, so how is Oakland Schools undertaking this project from a resource standpoint?
Well, we've really, at the very beginning of the initiative, we've just been able to, as Robin said, kind of absorb the additional calls and the additional tickets and assistance necessary. But really what we're doing here is we're growing a pretty significant rate. Currently we support very regularly 56 districts, so 28 public school districts, and then the charters that we have in Oakland County. We also support a program called VLAC, which is our Virtual Learning Academy, and that is outside of our county. So we've had a regional establishment for quite a while. What MyRead and My Strategy Bank bring to us in the next few months is about 300 districts. So the ticket volume will drastically grow. Beyond that, when we actually start supporting the State Education Network and the data hubs and the other activities that MISH Collaboration Hub have created and support, we will have to really resource up. We will have to, we will be paid by the Collaboration Hub to add resources and to build our service desk solution in a way that fits the needs of a statewide enterprise solution. And that means everything from software licensing to additional hands-on in the service desk, technicians-wise. Ultimately, what will happen, I believe, is that the Michigan Service Desk will support, the 1.45 million kids that are in the state, and all of the 850 plus districts that are in the state. So when I referred earlier to a regional approach, that's really what we envision. We believe that Oakland Schools has a great foundation and a well-established, very strong practice of providing this kind of solution. So building from this will help other ISDs and other districts be able to support their locals in a much easier way.
Sounds like a lot of exciting things on the horizon. How can districts find more info on MIServiceDesk?
There's a couple different ways. They can go to MIServiceDesk.org, and that takes them directly to the ticketing system that Oakland Schools uses. It is branded as MIServiceDesk, so you don't actually see that there's an Oakland Schools brand on it, which is on purpose because we wanted to be able to actually roll this all the way across the state and not have it be specific to one ISD. You can also go to MAISA.org. MAISA is the Michigan Association of Intermediate School Administrators. That's our ISD association of superintendents and administrators for all ISDs and RESAs.
Okay, well that's all for today's show about the Oakland Schools Service Desk. Congratulations to you, Tammy and Robin, for overseeing a project that has such a big statewide impact. I'm sure you're very proud.
Extremely proud. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you for having us on the show. Appreciate it.
This podcast was brought to you by Oakland Schools Intermediate School District's Communication Services and produced by Media Production and Distance Learning Manager Mark Hansen. Oakland Schools is a regional service agency that offers support services to school personnel which are better delivered regionally and provide cost, size, and quality advantages to those we serve. You can find more information on Oakland Schools at oakland.k12.mi.us. I have been your host for this podcast, Sarah Davis, and you can find this and future episodes of Educationally Speaking on our website or on Anchor FM. We hope you will join us for our next episode where we will continue to bring you topics that affect every student every day.